What will happen if you don't pray? Not suddenly, not loudly, but quietly, slowly, dangerously. The most terrifying changes in life do not announce themselves. They do not come with warning signs or loud alarms. They slip in silently, while life looks normal on the outside. Prayer is not just something you do. Prayer is what keeps you spiritually awake in a world designed to keep you distracted. The moment prayer leaves your life, something else takes its place. Silence never stays empty. When the voice of God becomes quiet, other voices become louder. You don't notice it immediately. You still wake up. You still go to work. You still smile. But inside, something begins to weaken. You start feeling tired in ways sleep cannot fix. Heavy in ways rest cannot heal. Confused in ways logic cannot explain. This is not physical exhaustion. This is spiritual depletion. Your soul is running without fuel, and you do not realize it until everything starts feeling difficult. The Bible says in Matthew 26:41, "Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." The flesh does not need encouragement to fail. It only needs the absence of prayer. When prayer stops, your mind becomes exposed. Thoughts you never invited begin to settle comfortably in your heart. Fear speaks first. Doubt follows closely. Then confusion. Then discouragement. Then compromise. Slowly, you begin entertaining ideas you once rejected. You begin questioning truths you once believed firmly. You do not wake up one day and decide to abandon God. You simply stop talking to Him. And when you stop talking to Him, His voice becomes unfamiliar. You still believe in God, but you no longer listen for Him. The devil does not rush people who stop praying. He is patient. Time is his favorite weapon. He understands that if prayer remains absent long enough, strength will drain naturally. He does not need to attack aggressively when neglect is already doing the work. Prayer was your spiritual fence. When it collapses, boundaries disappear. Things that once felt wrong begin to feel normal. Things you once avoided begin negotiating with you. You start telling yourself, "It's not that serious," or "Everyone does it," or "God understands." You don't fall because you wanted to fall. You fall because you stopped kneeling. Without prayer, temptation no longer knocks. It walks in freely. What you once resisted easily now argues with you successfully. What once frightened you now feels familiar. You begin justifying what you once condemned and explaining away what you once avoided. Prayer sharpens discernment. Without it, everything becomes blurred. You stop sensing danger early. You walk into situations without spiritual awareness. You trust people you should have prayed about. You make decisions based on emotion instead of instruction. You move because you feel like it, not because God said it. The Bible says in 1 Peter 5:8, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." Lions do not chase the strongest prey. They hunt the distracted and the isolated. Without prayer, distraction increases. Your attention scatters. Your focus weakens. Your patience disappears. Anger rises faster than wisdom. Forgiveness feels heavy. Pride grows quietly, unnoticed. Sin starts feeling justified, and conviction becomes faint. You begin reacting instead of discerning. You rush instead of waiting. You speak instead of listening. You move ahead of God and then ask Him to bless what He never instructed. Downfall rarely starts with rebellion. It starts with neglect. A neglected prayer life creates unguarded territory, and unguarded territory always invites invasion. The enemy does not need to overpower you. He only needs to outlast your discipline. Without prayer, disappointment becomes your companion. You achieve things, yet fulfillment is missing. You reach goals, yet peace does not follow. You succeed outwardly while dying inwardly. You begin asking questions that have no answers because prayer is no longer where you seek understanding. You feel lonely even among people. You laugh, but the laughter never reaches your soul. Nights become heavy, thoughts become louder in the dark. Comparison begins quietly. You look at others and wonder why life seems easier for them. Envy grows. Gratitude fades. Contentment disappears. You scroll through other people's lives and question your own calling. Isaiah 59:2 says, "Your iniquities have separated between you and your God." Prayer was the bridge. When prayer disappeared, distance increased. Not because God moved away, but because the connection was neglected. You begin questioning God's presence. You wonder if He hears you. You wonder if He sees you. You wonder if He still cares. But the painful truth is this: God never moved. You stopped coming. James 4:8 says, "Draw nigh to God, and He will draw nigh to you." Distance from God is never His decision. It is always ours. Without prayer, lies begin to sound like truth. The devil's voice begins to sound like your own thoughts. You start telling yourself things God never said about you. You accept labels God never gave you. You are not enough. You will never change. You have gone too far. God is tired of forgiving you. And because prayer is absent, you lack the strength to challenge those lies. You begin living according to them. Hope weakens. Faith shrinks. Courage disappears. This is where many people give up. Not because God failed them, but because they disconnected from the source of strength. But here is the truth that terrifies the enemy. The same prayer you stopped is the same prayer that can restore everything. Prayer does not require perfection. It requires surrender. It does not require fancy words. It requires honesty. Prayer is the fire that keeps your soul warm. When it went out, the cold came in. Fear, confusion, and weakness filled the space. But fire can always be reignited. The devil fears your prayer more than your shouting. He fears your prayer more than your activity. Because prayer invites God into your weakness. And when God enters, darkness loses authority. Prayer restores clarity. Prayer revives strength. Prayer rebuilds discernment. Prayer reconnects you to God's presence. Prayer reminds you who you are and whose you are. When prayer returns, peace returns. When prayer returns, direction returns. When prayer returns, strength returns. When prayer returns, the shadows flee. The enemy knows that a praying person is dangerous. Not because they are strong, but because God is near. A weak person who prays is more powerful than a strong person who doesn't. If you feel weak, pray. If you feel empty, pray. If life feels overwhelming, pray. If you feel far from God, pray. Not tomorrow, not when things get better. Now, because the moment you return to prayer, you are no longer fighting alone. This story does not end in defeat. It ends in restoration. It ends with light overcoming darkness. It ends with God still waiting, still ready, still faithful. Return to prayer. Return to life. Return to God.